Father's supposed to keep their promises. He promised to meet me right after the war. The war's going to be over right away. The Allies are coming. He never kept his promise. I don't know what happened to him. My name is Rena Quint. It's my 6th name. I started off with the name of Fredja Lichtenstein. I was 3.5 years old when the war started. September 1st, 1939, the Germans come into Poland, and the first city they came into was my city of Pietrzyca. And as soon as they came in, they put a barbed wire fence around the Jewish section, and that was known as the ghetto. Jews living outside of the ghetto weren't allowed to live there. They moved into the ghetto. So if you think of your apartments, no matter how big they are, you have 4 and 5 and 6 families moving in. Very, very crowded. So early on, they took my father and my uncle and many other men and women to slave labor factories. I remained in the house. I stayed there with my mother, my brothers, and neighbors, aunts and uncles, whoever was not taken. And one night, it was banging out the door, and Nazis and Ukrainians burst in. They said, "You've got 10 minutes to run down these stairs, terrible stairs, and you can take whatever you need. I'm not going to come back to the house." What would you take? We were rushed out, went down the stairs. People fell on top of each other, and we were brought to the synagogue. They were shooting. They took out the Chumashim and the prayer books and the Bibles and the talesim, the shawls that the men wear. 2,000 people couldn't get into the building. As many as they could, they pushed in. But I was there with my mother. I'm 6 years old at the time. I'm sure I must have been holding on tightly to her because I was scared. And behind the door, there was a man who told me to run. I don't know if I was stupid, if I was brave, if my mother pushed me. All I know is that I ran out. That was the last time I saw my mother and my brothers and all the rest of the people. They took all those people to cattle cars to DiploAct. Well, this man took me to my father. He kissed me. He was very happy to see me, but in a work camp, what was my father supposed to do with it? All men. One day he just said, "Listen, you can't be here as a little girl. So from now on, you're not a little girl. You're not sick. You're 10 years old. Your name isn't Fredja, it's Froyam, and you're a boy." I keep on saying it to yourself. I'm a boy, my name is Froyam, I'm 10 years old, I'm 10 years old. Froyam, boy, Froyam. Keep on saying it so you know who you are. I worked very hard. The fear of being shot, the not having enough food, not having a place to sleep. It was terrible. One day, when the Allies attacked Germany, the Germans decided to send the people out of Poland. And we were again marched to the Platz and then brought into these cattle cars. No steps, no food. Like animals have food in cattle cars, but here we were, nothing to eat, nothing to drink. When we crossed the border, many of the people were dead already or they went crazy. There was no bathroom, so you could imagine the stench. And people had lice and fleas. Amazing that anybody survived. We jumped out in the snow. It seems to me it was always snowing. We used the snow to eat it and to drink it because we were famished. And there was light that came from the heaven. In the cars, it was pitch black. While we were going east to this, Germans came, and with microphones, you're being taken to camps, men on one side, women on the other. My father realized that I couldn't go with him, because when you get into a camp, you have to get undressed. Then he would see that I'm not one of the boys, and they would kill me, kill him, and anybody else. He gave me a picture, and he promised to meet me right after the war. He never kept his promise. So the men went to Buchenwald, and the women were being taken to Bergen-Belsen. And there I was holding my picture, and one of the soldiers thought maybe I had a diamond or money, pried off my hand, just the picture, tore it up and threw it away. When we were brought into Bergen-Belsen, we had to go into the showers. When we came out, freezing cold, every woman got some sort of old uniform or an old dress. Every 5 or 6 women would get a blanket to cover themselves. This was already late, the end of 44. Every day, hundreds of people died. The woman would take the blankets, put her body in a blanket, and throw the body out on the vast expanse of Bergen-Belsen. Every place you went, you would see bodies, and you would smell bodies. One day I was very sick. with typhus and diphtheria. I found myself lying with dead bodies and some living bodies outside. It was better to be outside than in that stinking barracks where the rats ate at you and the lice and the fleas. And something happened. I'm lying out there, not being able to move. When you have typhus, everything is spinning. Soldiers came in wearing different uniforms, and they made an announcement. We are the British Army. We have come to free you. You're free. You can go home. Go home. You're free. Where is home?